Well, yeah, we are in the belly of the beast. You've heard a lot of noise coming from here for the past couple of days. We're finally here in the source of this noise. And I'm not alone. I'm here with Mark Pate, who is an expert for Team UK. Mark, thank you for being with us. And I think right away, tell us, you're a stonemason yourself.
That's right, yeah.
So tell us what these people are working on right now. And let's show one of the competitors right away so that we have some pictures to just demonstrate what you're going to be describing now.
Cool. So this guy is Kiego Ueda, Japanese stonemason. All of the guys have to produce the same thing. They produce some letter cutting and carving, which is in marble, and they also produce architectural elements, stone 1 and stone 2. The drawing for this project is based on the pediment of a doorway. So if you looked at a standard stone doorway into a library or even a home, at the very top it would have maybe a triangular or a circular piece, and they're producing the left-hand side of that.
So this is the left-hand side, right?
That's right, yeah.
So let's show it to our viewers. This is the left-hand side. This is something that they have already worked on. There it is. So this is a finished piece, right?
Yeah, so this one's finished. This is stone 1. This will be the top half, and the second stone they're doing is the bottom half of that.
Okay, so this is what they're working on right now.
That's right.
So a stonemason can work on all types of stone, right? So it can be marble, limestone, granite. What are they working on right now?
So we've got a mix across this competition. Both stones are Russian stones. The marble, letter cutting is in marble, and the architectural work is in a Russian limestone. And it's a very nice limestone, it's very beautiful.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So tell me, I mean, being a stonemason, it depends on how well you do. I guess it depends on what culture you're working in, because the architectural style of, say, Bruges or Moscow or Taj Mahal, all of these styles are so different. So how does one get good? Is there a jack of all trades thing? Do you have a profile, for instance, in Gothic architecture, and you work on that, depending on what area perhaps you grew in?
Sure. In the competition, we tend to keep the pieces that we use in a Romanesque style, mainly because it's the most standard and most fair internationally, and every country will have an understanding of this. These pieces are very taxing, it's a lot of work, but it's accessible to every country. Now, the skills that all these guys have, although they may work very different architectural styles, the hand skills, the ability to use a mallet and a chisel with a stone is the same. And you've got to remember, this skill, and this is not an exaggeration, you'll hear a lot this week of people saying, this is the most modern, and I'm proudly saying to you, this is the most ancient skill. This skill is thousands of years old. These guys will break this piece of work down geometrically the same way that a stonemason would have done thousands of years ago. That's no exaggeration. So when people look at bits of stone, they think, wow, it's magic, it came from nowhere. I'm sort of giving away the secrets here, but I think it's okay. When you look at the geometry, there's certain things they will do. They don't just randomly carve into the block. They will take it down step by step by step by step to find points and produce it accurately. And that's what these young guys are proficient at. They are experts at it. And our tolerance is 0 to 0.99 of a millimeter. That's full marks, less than 1 millimeter accuracy. In a piece of natural material, it's incredibly hard.
And I mean, it just brings me to the subject of the cost of mistake. Because this is a competition, and the worst that can happen to you is you're just going to lose and come in last. But if you're working on an ancient structure, yeah, maybe from the 7th, on some Roman pantheon god temple or something, if you make a mistake, that could be irreversible. That will be irreversible because stone doesn't grow back now, does it? Yeah. So, how does one get proficient?
Okay, when you start as an apprentice or a learner, you'll have a master, and he will teach you, or she will teach you. Hopefully they're kind, and they accept that for a year you will make so many mistakes. They can't use any of the work that you make. Sorry, that's them switching over, so some guys will come back from break and are starting again.
So maybe we should get out of the way a little bit.
No,
just
okay.
it's all right.
No problem. So in that first year, forget every piece of work you do is practice, 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 practice. And after a year, they'll start to give you some simple tasks, some of which you will make mistakes on.
If you are any good, they will give you simple tasks.
Yeah, if you're any good. Yeah, okay, you're quite right. slowly but surely, your confidence grows, your proficiency grows, the mistakes become less. And there becomes a point during your education when you don't look at a piece of work and go, is it possible? You say, how long? It's a different thing. And so these guys, although they're very young, they are incredibly proficient. They will not make many mistakes. They will make some, because it's a very difficult piece of work in the time, and they are under pressure.
Actually, speaking about work, let's maybe go back a little bit and see what they have already done. I mean, we've shown you some pieces of the arc of the doorway, right? But over there, not over there, but just over there, maybe just a little quicker, there is something that they have already completed, right? And from what I understand, this is a logo of the local football team, FC Rubin, right? So let's
right.
show. Yeah. Oh wow.
So, because we're in Kazan and because we're in Russia, the letter cutting and ornament piece of their work is that one of the first things they do. They actually have a lot of freedom to do what they want. We just give them the two-dimensional paper outline. They transfer that to the stone, and then they have to produce the letter cutting. And there are many different aspects of the marking for this that the judges will do, and then also the ornamental carving. You're absolutely right. This is the heraldic logo for FC Rubin, Kazan's team.
Let's show other pieces. Let's show other examples of their work, because they're all, from what I understand, they're all done in their own individual styles. For instance, this is different from this, and each one is different.
And it's totally open to the interpretation of the competitor. It's the one sort of artistic element we have here. The rest of it is very geometrical, very artisan. This one is your interpretation, make it stand out, show the experts that you're doing something that is transferring it and making it dynamic, making it alive. This is a really nice one.
This is a really nice one, but the important thing, we don't know which competitor did it, because they are marked, but they're marked from A to D, I think, A, B, C, D. There's an H, I can see an H, I can see an I think, on the top one. That is, again, to keep a fair competing environment, so that the judges don't show any bias, because there are judges from all countries, including whose representatives are here. For instance, if a judge is from Team UK, so that just to exclude any sort of bias, they will. But it might be a tricky question, but for instance, if you're on the team and if you're a judge, you might know the style of your competitor. Is there a way? Is there a way?
Absolutely, but this is why stonemasonry is so good. We still 100% blind mark all judgment elements. So, okay, I might look at mine and I'll know that's my competitor, that's his style. But this is the brilliant thing. When we go to put it into the system, CIS, it null and voids my marks. I cannot mark my competitor. So I could, even if, which I wouldn't, but even if I said, oh, it's amazing, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, the system will say, nah. And it does that for every country, in every skill actually. But we're totally blind marking. Nobody knows. If you look at these booths here, this is booth number 4, booth number 5, the Austrian guy. The stones are marked A, B, C, D, E. Nobody knows. So we give marks for A, B, and at the end, once we put the marks in, we then say, who was A? A was number 5, Austria. So it's blind. We don't know. And so it's utterly fair. Yeah. So we're a really strong competition for fairness and transparency. Stonemasons take stonemasonry so seriously. We all want the best stonemason to win. We do everything we can to make sure that the marking is fair, transparent, and we give these young guys the best possible opportunity to show what they can do. The best stonemason will win the competition.
Mark, thank you so much. And just wrapping up, I would like to say that here, if you come here, I think it's section B8. Yes, it is B. It is in Pavilion B. It is area 8. And if you look at them through the glass where the public is allowed, you will see pieces of paper, like lists of paper over there, which is a petition to keep stonemasonry in the world skills. And that is there. It is there because there are only 11 competitors here, while there is supposed to be 12. And there is a very sad reason to that, because I've been told that one of the competitors who was supposed to come here and was about to come, he was diagnosed with cancer, and so he couldn't. So we can only wish a swift recovery to that person, whoever he or she might be. And if you have a minute, maybe come here, sign a petition to keep this beautiful, beautiful trade in the World Skills Competition, because it would be really a shame for all stonemasons to lose such an opportunity to put themselves out there and have their work displayed to the amusement of many, many people. And you can see right now how many people there are showing interest in what these young, talented people are doing.